imply the conclusion. Okay. Okay. Now what are our premises? Our premises are Randy works hard is a premise. If Randy works hard, then he's a dull boy is a premise. If Randy is a dull boy, he will not get the job. Conclusion is Randy will not get the job. Okay. So this is what I have. Huh? Premise number one. Premise. 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 හරි දැන් මොකක්ද ඕනේ negation J ඕනේ okay now if you look at 1 and 2 you see you have R and R implies D හරිද R and R implies D දැක්කම මොකද්ද අපිට එන්නේ when we see R and R implies D we get modus ponens into our head yeah so what do? We say that Q is true in that case ඊතලය and elimination so as my fourth I will say that Q is true Q is D what is the notation ඊතලේ I eliminated whom did I keep I kept the second one the second proposition what were the premises I used 1 and 2 this is what modus ponens right okay then the fifth step okay now again look at these two you have D and D implies negation J again you can use the same proposition inference rule modus ponens eliminate you kept the second one and you use 3 and 4 so he's not going to get the job right last example okay if it does not rain or if it is not foggy then the sailing race will be held and the life-saving demonstration will go on. Okay, there are so many there. Okay, let's go one by one. If it does not rain, okay, it rains. I'll say it rains is R. It's not foggy. I'll say it's foggy is F. Sailing race will be held. Sailing race, I'll say S. Life-saving demonstration will go on. I'll say that is T. D. Okay. Then, what is the premise? If it does not rain or if it is not foggy, then the sailing race will be held and the demonstration will go on. Okay, this is the first premise. Using the first sentence. Come to the next sentence. If the sailing race is held, then the trophy will be awarded. Okay, the trophy will be awarded. I'll say that is T. This is T. Okay. And the trophy was not awarded. Okay. Negation T implied the conclusion. It rained. R is the conclusion. Okay. Now how are we going to do this? Let's take the first premise. This is a premise. S implies T is a premise. Negation T is a premise. Not it? Okay. Now the first one that I can do is, when I look at these two, what comes into my mind is modus tollens. Modus tollens. In modus tollens, you have P implies Q and negation Q. Then you say negation P is true. Yeah. So I'll use that. Here I have S implies T and negation T. So I say negation S is true. How do I do that? I used modus tollens on 2 and 3. Empty doesn't have another notation. It's empty. Okay. Okay, now what can I do here to go ahead with this sum? Okay, I have to do something which we didn't do in the previous examples. What I'm going to do is I'm going to combine negation S with negation D. So I'm going to introduce something new here. I did an addition. I did an addition. Why? Because I want to prepare this part of the proposition in my 5th step, so that I can remove that part and go ahead with the other part. Okay, but there's no way to do that, so I'm going to add that addition. So what do I do? O introduction to the 4th. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the negation out and say S and D. So this is using De Morgan's. Now, do you see that I have the positive of that here and the negative of that here? So again, I can perform modus tollens and get the negation of the first part of this out. Empty damma කාටද දැම්මේ 1 and higher. Got it? Now I have this. Now if I take the negation inside, I get R and F. How? De Morgan's. Then now I have R and F. So what can I do? I can use this simplification. Remember, in simplification, when you have two people connected with an AND, එක්කෙනෙක්ව අපිට ඕන එක්කෙනාව ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඕන විදිහට ගන්න පුළුවන්. එක්ක P දෝනි Q දෝනි we can take, and that is AND elimination. So then මට මෙතන ඕනේ වහිනවා කියලානේ. So I'm going to take R out and I can say that AND elimination, I kept the first one and I used the 8th premise. So if I write it in words, this is simplification that we used. Okay. Okay. Right. So that is it for the first, for this discussion. So today we finished propositional logic. Next week we can do predicate logic. So I will upload this tute into the LMS. Okay. And the activities are there.